Today we'll do a brief update at the river, then I'll show you how to make my special boilie recipe from start to finish, as well as my special method to always ensure my pop-up boilies actually pop up. Alright, I had a checkup with the back doctor today. Said I can start carrying 30 to 40 pounds, so I brought about 20 pounds of fishing gear anyways. I caught 2 nice carp within 40 minutes here, right after the appointment. So I'm going to share my recipe that I created last year. It worked well. I'm catching fish this year, obviously. I hope you enjoy it and catch some fish with it as well. There are only 6 ingredients that go into my special boilies. A full batch will yield more than 120 boilies, and I'll put the recipe down in the video's description as well. So we're going to need a 1/4 cup of vegetable oil. I use canola oil. A 1/2 cup of water, distilled or tap is fine. 4 eggs. Yep, I go heavy on the eggs. A 1/4 cup of garlic powder. 1 cup of coconut flour. This flour has a really sweet flavor. I really like it. And it doesn't have the same stickiness factor as all-purpose flour, so that's why I'm using more eggs. And finally, koi pond food. You can pick up this type of food at most pet stores. Any brand should do you fine, but I will toss an Amazon affiliate link to the description of the brand I use. It's not the most expensive brand, that's why I got it. And it comes in a pellet form, and it needs to be ground down. So a blender is necessary unless you want to do some hard work hand grinding. Even the cat approves of it. You don't want it chunky. It needs to be fairly fine. I'll be making a half batch for this demonstration. So firstly, grab a mixing bowl and add the dry ingredients. That's your ground koi food, the coconut flour, and the garlic powder. Mix the dry ingredients until there's an even consistency. Pop in your eggs, and I just like to break up the yolks a bit first. Add your oil and mix that in a bit. Finally, add about half of your water and continue mixing. And I save the water for last because the worst thing that we can do at this point is oversaturate the mixture with water. I'll say that again. We want to avoid oversaturating the mixture. So that 1/2 cup of water for a full batch or a 1/4 cup for a half batch is my best approximation. Your ingredients may require more or less water. You'll just have to keep an eye on it. Now it's about adding water slowly to make sure the consistency stays good. This may look too dry, but it's actually what I want right now. Start working and kneading the mixture for at least 3 minutes, and you can add bits of water if you think you need it. The final result should be a nice solid chunk that doesn't flake after a few minutes. If it's still flaking too much, just add a little bit of water. Next, start rolling your boilies. And this process does take some time, so I like to grab my headphones and get a few good songs in. And I always make different sizes because I never know what type of rig and hook sizes I'll use until I'm at my water source and evaluate the situation. I want big, medium, and little ones. So with about 40 to 50 boilies, I'm good. These will be my sinking boilies. The rest of my mixture will be saved to place on my method leads or for chumming, and a bit will go towards the handful of pop-up boilies I'll make, and I'll discuss how to make those just in a bit. So for the sinking boilies, just toss them in some boiling water for about 3 to 5 minutes. When they pop up to the surface, they're done. Just lay them on a tray to dry, and then when they are dry, get them in the refrigerator or freeze them if you won't be using them for a while. Now here's my secret to making sure my pop-up boilies actually pop up, because I've just tried numerous boilie recipes and microwaving them just doesn't always do it. Often they'd eventually saturate and sink, and I kind of got fed up with it. So grab yourself a wine cork and start shaving it down. The pieces need to be pretty small. Wine cork is non-toxic. It's just bark from a tree, and it'll pass right through the digestive system of a fish, just like all the other detritus, pebbles, and other twig bits that they happen to incidentally consume off the bottom. I like to portion out my pop-up boilies, the mixture, and then spread out the cork on top to ensure that each one gets an even amount. And this much cork isn't even needed, but it'll definitely keep them afloat. Once you got them rolled up, just toss them in the microwave for about 20 to 30 seconds. If they blacken, you've overdone it, so keep an eye on that. Also, if you want to add some color to your boilies, add some food coloring. Fair warning with this recipe here, a lot of the color will actually boil out. Each one of these received 2 drops of food coloring beforehand, and the mixture was very colorful, but when it boiled, they lost a lot of the color. But I do actually like the green here. It gives the boilies a good yellow, and that's a great contrast that'll show up in most water types. On the Potomac River here in Virginia, on this day I'm using method leads with a hair rig. I'm using a glow bead atop the boilie with a little piece of soft yellow plastic as my stopper. I like that contrast. I'm also using that raw boilie mixture on the method lead. It's a great chum as the current takes the scent downriver, creating a scent trail right to the bait. I'm not using my special pop-up boilies here. I prefer those on still water systems like lakes and ponds. The river's current will actually present the sinking boilie nicely, moving it around. Boilies do take a lot of prep work, but there's just such great satisfaction from getting those big fights. It makes it all worth it. Just one thing, it's kind of a warm day. You know, if you want your baits reserved, bring some ice in your cooler pack. Keep your baits fresh. So as here at KNF Fishing Smarts, we're spreading knowledge about fishing and fishes. I like to include some community KNFS fishing tips when I can. The first one comes from Robert Whitworth, who suggests his go-to carp bait for a first chum in a new spot is 2 cans of sweet corn, breadcrumbs, cheap dog food filler, a can of condensed milk, and a bottle of Bailey's Irish Cream. And he says the alcohol drives him crazy, so I will be eager to try that out sometime. Also, thanks to Robert for being a patron from Patreon and supporting the video productions here at KNFS. Means a lot. Next comes from Forest City Fishing, and he said before he's a carp fishing specialist, he suggests using a piece of rolled up bread on a hair rig. Leave it plain for buffaloes and dip the bread in jello mix for carp, and I'm assuming he means common carp most likely because they love the sweet. He says big mouth buffalo will eat a bit off the bottom and the black and smallmouth will eat directly on the bottom, so a bagel that floats might be better for the big mouth. Finally, we got Corey, who also enjoys the Gamakatsu G-Carp specialist hooks that I often use, but he says he slightly prefers the very similar Gamakatsu G-Carp humpback versions. I'm still yet to try those, but they are on my wish list. Both my fish today were caught on Gamakatsu G-Carp specialist RX hooks size 2. So thanks to those guys for sharing their fishing smarts, and I always encourage you to share your relevant suggestions in the video comments down below for the other anglers here at KNFS to read. Picked up this Rapala scale. It's real nice. It folds up and folds out. It's great for long fish. It goes up to 60 inches, just past 150 centimeters. I guess that's sort of an affiliate plug. I'll put a link in the description down below, but it's really nice and convenient. Look, it just folds up. Again, I hope this recipe finds you some big fish. Fish responsibly and good luck.